Welcome to another episode of the Cyber Culture Cafe podcast, where John and Andy will introduce you to another fascinating member of the eSentire family. Welcome, James, to the podcast. Please give us a brief description of where you are within the company now and your current roles and responsibilities, and we'll start from there.
All right, thanks, Andy. I'm James Tomlinson. I'm the Chief Platform Officer at eSentire. That means that I am responsible, my team, because my team does most of the work, is responsible for guiding and driving the product requirements for our Atlas platform and all of the user interactions. So from the back end to the web front end, the mobile APIs, all the interactions our clients have with our platform, and that includes all of the how investigations are done. So all of the user experience, I'd say.
Whoa, sorry, that's a lot of stuff right
Yeah,
there.
it is.
So hold on. So not only are you talking about what the SOC is using for the platform and how it interacts and how they interact with it, but you're also talking about the Insight portal that we use for customers to log in and see everything that we're doing for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you have to integrate all of that.
All of that. And
that sucks, my friend. That's not an easy
awesome.
job.
It's awesome.
No, I mean, you have to love what you're doing for sure, 100%, or else why would you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you haven't asked me direction, but you know where we're going and where our customers want us to go. They've spoken very loudly. Is that line between what the SOC does and what the customer does needs to be invisible.
Yeah.
So the person doing the investigation can be multiple people at any one point in time. It can be eSentire, it can be the customer, it can be somebody else.
I love what we're doing with that stuff. I love the findings. I think the findings that we're changing it to findings and showing more of what we're doing and how we're doing it, and the summary that the SOC gets, and we can show the customers, here's everything they found. Here's what they're doing. Here's why they're taking action. I mean, to show customers that, I think, is incredible. I don't think anybody's doing that.
No, very, very few. There's a couple others that go with transparency.
Right.
But we're taking that and flipping it forward to where it's the same tools.
Yeah. I think
the same tooling the SOC uses. You know, it's 2025 and the age of AI is upon us. So,
yep.
You know, our AI, the SOC, the customers are all using the same tools.
I get questions from partners and stuff a lot, you know, because I deal with a lot of the partners, and they're like, who takes care of your AI? So we have teams. This is all they're doing. They're curating and training our AI. It's not like we go out and grab stuff from the outside and bring it in. We have AI tools that we use, but we're the ones that are doing it. We're the ones building new machine learning models. We're the ones that are training that AI. And they're like, so you have a team of people doing them? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not training the underlying models. We're leveraging those. Those change out about every 3 to 4 months. We're probably integrating a new AI model because Anthropic and ChatGPT and Google and Microsoft, they're all building.
Right.
What we are doing is how are we using them? What's the agent models that we're using? Right. And the team that builds that came from engineering, but more importantly, they came from the SOC.
Right.
So we grabs one of our senior managers from the SOC, and he leads that AI team that builds that AI investigator.
That's awesome.
So that team, Glenn and the team just rock it, man.
And that's the gift that keeps giving, because that training has to continue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's an ongoing thing.
Andy and I got to see a preview of some of the new stuff we're doing in the Insight portal. And I got to tell you, what you showed us, a week ago, or whatever it was awesome that the customers are going to be able to customize their page, really, right? This is what I want to see. This is what I want to, I mean, that's going to be awesome. All those different widgets and stuff. I mean, I know I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm like, hey, when is that coming? Because I have partners are like, can we customize this for each one of our customers? Yeah, you're going to be able to do that. They're excited about it.
Well, this is the challenge. This is the challenge, isn't it? I mean, we've always said historically for our audience that we will help that audience. We will
Mm.
grow with that audience. And as their security maturity improves, we'll be there with them for the journey. This is the logical progression. The platform has had to become that flexible, that compliant, that context sensitive. It's had to happen.
Yeah.
And it's just that's the logical step. I mean, for us, I guess the challenge is going to be what's going to happen next? How do we get ready for what's going to happen next?
I tend to think about a year out. After that, it gets I have ideas, but crystal ball comes into effect. But
Yeah.
you nailed it, Andy, with it's the growth of our customers.
Yeah.
And it's we just met with a group of customers a week ago or 2 weeks ago. They were very clear on they want out of the box functionality. That does not mean fixed, right? So we have two paths that we're going down. One is here's a set of default dashboards targeting the responder, targeting exposures, that kind of thing. Here's a set of widgets that you can use to customize all of that. You can create your own, all that.
That's
kind of out of the box. You don't have to do anything. It works day one. Then you have the AI that can come in and help you build. So you've heard about vibe coding, all of that. Some people have a negative reaction to that. But the fact is that AI can help write code these days.
Yep.
So we have a track working to help to leverage AI to help a customer build a widget, build a dashboard. Because then to your partner or to a customer, it's like, I want something that looks like this.
Yeah.
I want vulnerability change over time overlaid by assets. Maybe we don't have that widget already. They can go build it.
So check this out. So my wife, as you guys already know, right? She's a customer success manager. And James, I'm sure you talk to her all the time.
That's the call I just left.
Yep. See, there you go. Right? There you go. You got to answer that call. Shit. When she calls, I got to answer too. I hear you. But so they're working with that Lovable application, right? That AI application. And now she has no experience with AI or really ChatGPT. Like she'll look up stuff and do stuff. She's getting better at it. But she said, I want a dashboard to look like this and have this feature and this feature. She typed it all in and it built her a dashboard for her customers that was like in minutes. It was exactly the way she wanted it, exactly the way her customer wanted it. So, I mean, to be able to do that now and have customers be able to do that with their data, I mean, that's awesome.
And so, John, the important part there is their data.
Yep.
And then the other part is securely.
Right.
So we want to bring in, when we think about the platform, and you'll hear me talk about the platform because I talk about Atlas, which includes all the UIs,
right,
all the ways of interacting. The customer wants what they want. They're trying to get an answer to something or communicate something to somebody, right?
Right.
We have their data because we need that in order to do an investigation or help them with their exposure management. So we need to give them that same type of flexibility in our platform to where they can make it theirs. It's their SecOps platform. And as we build this functionality a year from now, every user can have their own experience.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Yeah.
So
how awesome is that?
This to me, the way you're describing it, and the way we've talked about it, and we continue to talk about it on a regular basis. And I need to apologize to you, James, for the millions of questions that I have on a regular basis. This to me is a zero trust approach. And, we've talked about our use of AI. We're calling it AI this week. It's going to be something else next week. It was something else the week before. Machine learning has been our backbone. That hasn't changed in decades. And I don't think that's going to change. But I think what AI now offers us with this increased resource capacity and processing capability is we can now do this contextually. So if we're doing it with hypotheses and testing of hypotheses to come to an outcome of what is happening, do I need to stop it? Or is it going to impact my business? If we were to take that same approach as a suggestion for the portal, This is how you typically use this screen. We're going to lay it out the way you normally use it. I see you're leaning into this space. Have you thought about? Because now that interaction stuff, all of the engine is learning from all of the interactions with it, not just the data on the back end and the outcomes that the customers are trying to get to, but the outcomes that customers are trying to share and communicate also is part of that puzzle too.
Yeah.
So we end up with a very dynamic thing. And as you said, customers come to us at a different stage of their security maturity. And we don't care where they are, but we will help them along to the next level, help them improve. Well, this is no different. This is exactly the same thing. And this then becomes, dare I say it, a strategy for us. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean the guiding. I always like guiding tenets when you're building, because it keeps you focused, and then you can break them. But the guiding tenet for the UI or the reporting side, as we call it, dashboard and reporting, but that's so limiting, is we want Atlas to become the assistant to the user.
Right.
And you'll hear me use user as a generalization, because I don't care whether it's the SOC person or the CISO at our customer or our partner. They need to come in, and our platform needs to help them accomplish the tasks that they have to go do.
Their goals. Yep. Their outcomes
And
they're looking for. Yes.
So today the technology is pretty procedural. I'll go there. Tomorrow it's question based. I'll give you an example. We did this exercise of what would happen if our UI was nothing but an AI prompt.
Okay.
Right? So you just ask it what you need, and it will go get it for you.
Right.
Well, and our customer advisory board backed up this results. That's great for customization and getting answers to questions today, but they expect things out of the box. Right? So looking at their behavior, guiding them, that is certainly a direction that we're going. We're building the foundations of that now, where we let this hyper customization come into play. We give them the ability to interact with their data through the AI.
Yep.
The searching that we're doing, they'll be able to interact with that. Sometimes you just want to write a query.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Where does the AI come in? Where does it not come in?
Yeah. So that customization to the dashboards and things we're looking at, and those widgets, when are you looking at rolling that out? Is there a lot more testing you have to do?
There's on the remember, we have 2 tracks.
Right.
On the default, as we call it, predefined dashboards, you'll start seeing that come on towards the end of November.
Okay.
As I sit here and make dates from a product management standpoint on a
Yeah.
way to lock me in, John.
We're not going to hold you to it,
Listen,
James. The audience might.
You never know. Listen, we're I love, and I should say that real quick. I love that what we're focusing on a lot from now to the end of the year to beginning of next year is a lot of our platform stuff, a lot of different integrations, a lot of changing coming. I think that's smart. I think, because that's going to help us with, and I'm going to ask you about the Atlas Nexus next and stuff like that, how you feel about that, because that's what you're doing, is building that foundation, like you said now, where you're going to be able to take it to here, or you're going to be able to move it here. You're going to be able to do so many different things with that.
Yeah. So, that is the point, is that you look at some of our larger clients, and you look at some of our smaller clients. It doesn't matter. It matters how sophisticated of a security team that they have. What do they want to do? Right?
Right.
That's really the defining factor. I don't care whether you're $10 billion or 500 million. It's how sophisticated is your security team, and what do you want them as a CISO focused on? And then that guides our interaction. As you know, we have customers that are like, you guys take care of it. Tell us when we need to go do something. And then we have customers that are, I want to see everything you're doing and be involved.
Yep.
And so where we're going with findings, dashboard and reporting, just the core is, we're going to give you the customer or the partner to slide that interaction up or down.
Yep.
You want to do more yourself? Go do it. You want to do it with us? Go do it. You want to do it all for somebody else? you'll be able to do it all on the same platform. And it goes back to that core of it's the same tools. There is no difference in the tooling the SOC uses that our customer sees. It's just who is the man in the box.
Yes, right. How much integration is going to be? I love that. I think that's going to be killer. I think it's going to be a game changer. I do like the Atlas Nexus stuff. So, I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about work with you too, but I also want to find out. Let me ask you this. So, you've been with eSentire. How many years have you been here? A while.
5 years as of about 2 months ago.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
I'm cool.
What did you always want to do this stuff? Were you always involved in computer stuff or security stuff? Or what did you do before this? Were you doing something totally different and you landed here?
No, I've been doing this for a long time. So this security goes back to college. I monitored alarm systems 4 to midnight while I was in college.
You're nice. Wow.
Then ended up running the operations for that company.
Wow.
So I actually moved from the West Coast because of that to the East Coast, which eventually led me into product management and into the cybersecurity side.
Wow.
So that's the linkage. There was a small foray into building online services and a music startup and a bank startup.
Wow. Wait, so hold on. Where were you on the West Coast? You were in California?
Yeah, I'm in California.
Right, you're in California now. You're back to California. So you went to California. Where'd you go on the East Coast?
The DC area.
Oh, get out of here. And then how long were you there for before you went back to California?
Longer than I'd like to admit.
Right.
I was there for a couple decades. Thought it would be a 3-year gig.
Right.
It turned into a lot longer. But
all right. So then you came back to now you landed were you always in San Diego or were you somewhere else in California?
No, in well, I'm a military brat, so I've moved every 3 years of my life.
Oh, cool. No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm back in San Diego. This is where my wife is from. I took her from San Diego to DC.
Oh, she probably didn't like that.
She liked it enough to stay for a couple decades.
Right. And then came back to San Diego. I love that. That's awesome. So you're military, Brad. So you didn't join the military? You didn't have any desire to go into the military?
I almost joined the military to get out of North Carolina. No offense to North Carolina, but
wow. Yeah. No kidding.
But no, my dad was a Marine. He left the Marine Corps at the door.
Yep.
He never he's a good guy. He never brought that
right.
I don't know. He brought the Marine Corps ethos.
Right.
Certainly the work ethic.
Right.
But not I'm the commander, but he joined right out of high school and retired as a major.
Wow. So, no kidding.
All
good
respect for him. But,
wow.
So, got me out of a small town in Colorado. Got to go to Okinawa, Korea.
Oh, I was there too. Because I was in the Navy. I was in Korea and Okinawa. Awesome places. Great, amazing things to see. Wow.
Went to middle school and 1 year of high school in Okinawa.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. No way. Get out of here. Holy cow.
So there you go.
Wow. That's
been around.
Yeah. But so you started doing that stuff in college and so you've always been doing this kind of technology. Security kind of things.
And then, got introduced to product management through a partnership with dating myself again with MCI back when it was really MCI. Where they were making, $30 billion on WANs and long distance.
Wow.
And we did a partnership with a company in the Silicon Valley to build an online service. You guys have all used it, right? Yeah. That's
yeah, no kidding.
There's a concept of sunk costs. We spent $25 million and said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We had a couple thousand people on a beta. But yeah, so that taught me product management from Silicon Valley.
Wow.
And really, really gave me a foundation. And then just moved around, did a couple startups, sold a company, and then a person I was working for before called me up and said, we need some help. You want to come join us at a company called True Secure. And so started there as one of their first product managers, and that became Cybertrust, which we got sold to Verizon, and
Oh,
off
wow.
to the races back on the cybersecurity side. So very varied background, but been doing this for 20 years.
Forever. Yeah. I
So
gotta tell you, the stuff that we're doing with our platform and all the great things, I mean, it's awesome to see all those things. And we do really appreciate you coming on all those calls every couple weeks to give us those product updates and stuff, because it's like, and it's hard. I'm not that I wouldn't. I mean, your job is not, I know you love what you're doing, but it's not easy because you have these things and they change probably every single day. I'm sure there's changes all the time, and you're customizing those changes. So, 1 week you're saying, "Hey, we're going to do this," and then the next week you're like, "All right, we got to change this a little bit." So, and it's not easy.
yeah, it's a balance of you got to keep, there's that concept of big rocks, and the big rocks in the glass jar and all that.
Right. Yes.
You got to keep focused on the things that matter, but there's always a balance of what can you build in the time frame you have with the people you have.
Right. Right.
And we have a very sophisticated, mature process now. We do super high fidelity mock-ups. You guys have seen a lot of them.
Yep.
Sometimes to our detriment, because people go, "Yeah, that's working code." It's like, no, it's
Yeah.
a mock-up.
Right.
But that really sets, and so we purposely mock up the vision large.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we want to build this, but we need to get something out in the next 2-3 months.
Right.
And that's
Start
part
that
of the
process.
philosophy. Yeah, it's you want to deliver incrementally more often at
Right.
some speed. Because if you have a 6-month, 9-month, 12-month project, you have no idea when you're delivering that.
Right.
Zero.
Yes. Yeah. And
But if
I do
you're
like that.
90 days out, you can start managing, and then it's the small trade-offs you have to make.
Yeah, I had actually a partner say that to me. They were like, "Yeah, you guys are always adding new stuff in the portal all the time. We see the little updates all the time. You gotta keep innovating and doing this stuff." And it's a challenge, but it's awesome that you guys are doing that. And that's awesome.
Yeah,
James,
sure.
do you think you can do that quicker? Iterate faster and fail faster to keep that development working?
The short answer is yes. The long answer, the more intricate answer is there is a limit to the speed with which people can absorb new functionality.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there's a throttling on the organization's ability to accept new functionality, and the customer's ability. My wife works in privacy for a company, and she uses one of the leading tools out there. I won't mention them, but they do updates often, about every 2 weeks, that break her stuff.
Her stuff. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And you need to really be cognizant of that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So, we're going through that dashboard and reporting things that we talked about, right? It's going to be great. I have no doubt it's what I've heard over and over and over again from customer partners.
Yep.
But we have to think about there's already views in the platform that people are using.
So you're changing
and
that.
So how do you we're gonna need to do something about those and move them to the new thing.
Yeah.
And so how do you do that gracefully?
But you could train your audience as well, though, to accept those changes more often.
Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes they don't like change, though. You get
people
that don't
audiences don't like
crazy.
change typically.
Yeah. I mean, there's a book that's getting a little long in the tooth, but still relevant, called The Innovator's Dilemma. I suggest anybody that's working with new products, they should read it, because it's all about why good companies with good management fail. And it's because their current customers don't value the new innovation is the core. And I'm greatly simplifying a really good book.
Right.
But you do need to bring your customers along.
Yeah.
And in our world, our customers have a workflow. We're part of their security apparatus.
Yeah.
That's probably sounds kind of negative. We're part of their security processes. So that sounds better.
Right. But yeah, you're right.
But it's, so when we find something, it's where do we have when we find something, we're telling the client that we found something, we isolated a host, we disabled a user, whatever the
Right.
actions were, but then they have a follow-up. They have to go make sure that user does training. Maybe they have to go re-image something. So we're part of their workflow.
Yeah.
So we can't change overnight.
Yeah.
Right.
We have
It has to be
APIs.
gradual.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have
Well,
a lot
not
of customers that
drastic,
are
not
integrated.
drastic changes anyway.
Right.
Right. UI, adding a new, and this is why we want that widget library kind of concept.
Right.
Because I can add a new widget every week, and that's change people can take.
Yes, and they can
Right?
add it or not add it. They can change it or keep it
Exactly.
the way. I mean, I love that. I love that
Yeah.
concept. I can customize it if I want to. If I like the way it is right now, I don't have to change it. I don't have to train anybody else that's in my team to do it. I can, and they can customize it themselves if they want their own view, which I like that as well. I think that's cool. So, I mean, let me ask you this: it seems not only are you doing stuff for everyone at eSentire within the platform, but for our customers and partners and stuff. What the hell do you do to unwind every day? I mean, there's a lot of things going through your mind. You've got a lot of pressure. How do you unwind every day? How do you just, put it at the door, like you said before, so you can relax?
Watch the Broncos win in the last 2 minutes of a game.
Right. There you go.
Now I have a lot of individual hobbies. The biggest one that I do is go do pottery.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
Right.
Nice.
I'll be hanging at the beach on Saturday morning, doing a pit firing.
Oh,
Where you
wow. That's
basically
awesome.
take pots, throw them in a big pit with a bunch of wood and a bunch of organic material, and get things that look like they're about 1,000, 2,000 years old.
Wow.
You
That's
look back,
interesting.
pottery's been around
Forever.
since humans, 10,000 years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
been doing that for about 15 years.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for
So
you. Do you ever want to open up your own shop?
there's no money in it.
No. Well,
It's
yeah.
I have friends that are ceramicists or potters, and they all go into teaching.
Right.
It's an art form that it's, since it's usable for the most part. I have a cup that a potter in Minnesota made.
Yep. Yep.
He's making a living at it. He has a YouTube following. He's
Oh, that's
figuring it
cool.
out. That's awesome. But he also has a coffee shop that
Right.
he and his wife own.
Right.
Which has allowed him to go pursue this art
Other
passion.
things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but James, you don't do it every Saturday or every other Saturday because there's money in it, though.
No, and I tried. There was one year where I said, you know what, I'm gonna make this be cost neutral. It will cost me nothing because I'll be able to sell, and I was able to do that. And it ruined the hobby for me.
Oh.
It's like I'm never doing it again. I'm like,
This is
I make things. People come over to my house, and it's like, here's a piece of pottery. Go home.
Yeah.
So literally, there's a shelf on my patio where it's like, here's stuff. If you come over, it's like anything on that shelf, take.
Grab something nice. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
nice.
there's that, and then just I live in a great location. You can't. So getting out biking and doing things outside is just awesome.
Yeah, San Diego was great. I was in the service at the time when I was there, but I was stationary. It's great. It's a great city. It's a great place. Great places to eat. I mean, walk drive. I loved being there. It was incredible.
Just because you were in the Navy, there's 3 aircraft carriers in port right now.
Oh, is there really?
Or there was last weekend.
Yeah.
So
No, that was an experience. That's for sure. Just being there in the Navy base over there and stuff. But just walking around and going out on the weekends and doing stuff around San Diego is it's a beautiful place.
Love it.
Great places to eat. Oh my God. Yeah. I can see that. It's funny. Heather and I were actually talking about going out there to San Diego to visit, just taking the kids. They've never been to they've been to California, but not San Diego. So let's go to San Diego. It's a great place to visit. Why not?
I still like that drive down from Los Angeles down to San
along
Diego,
the coast,
down the coast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's we've been here 5 years now.
Nice.
So there is a
Nice.
correlation there. So
Right.
I came to eSentire during COVID, so I was
There you go.
So, James,
So-
you'd mentioned pottery. What else captures your attention when you're not focusing and chasing all the engineering and dev teams?
oh, just general tech. I follow just a lot of general technology. Been playing with AI, playing with building things. AI, I have probably about 3 different coding projects going on that will probably never see the light of day.
Right.
Because there's a reason I'm in product and not art, not engineering.
Right.
Because I get things working to a point and go, awesome, it's working.
Done. Yeah.
But I'm not going to spend the time to make it robust and that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
it's it's that watch a lot of car stuff. Andy, you're a car guy. It's been a long time since I built a car. And I don't play with my Jeep enough.
Right.
But it's a matter of so it's just doing things. Mostly it's like we had the family over, which is why we're here. So there's a lot of family stuff in town.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Wow. So what's your favorite movie?
oh man.
Oh,
There
that's
you
a
go.
good question.
That is right. Let's see what your favorite movie is. See, I have a ton
right.
of favorite movies.
So-
I couldn't even just give you one.
So because I have a cat named Lilu,
Right.
Andy knows where I'm going.
I know where you're going with this.
I'm gonna go Fifth Element because it's probably the movie I've watched the most.
Fifth Element. No kidding. That was
The
very
original
cool
Star
show.
Wars is close though.
Yeah, the original Star Wars is awesome. Actually, you know what? I just heard too that they're going to release the original Star Wars before they modified them. And add the new special effects. The original, when you went to see it in 1977, I went to the movie to see it. I remember seeing it as a kid. I mean, the original movies. I mean, I used to have all the action figures and stuff. I wish I still had them, for the love of God. I would have, they were collector's items.
They've been regenerating all the computer graphics for it, though, as well, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they redid them. They redid them and
Yeah.
added stuff to them, which,
yeah, and I'll just say it. Han shot first.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
But Fifth Element is who's the director?
I always
The French
forget.
dude,
Luke,
Yeah.
somebody thought.
Luc Besson.
Yeah.
Have you seen the other one with the other model in it and the chap?
The other model and chap.
Yeah, I'll have to go. I know the movie you're talking about. I think I've seen it once, but I'll have to go check it out again.
Is it? Are you talking about the Professional?
No, that one. Yeah, I love that movie. No, it's science.
was a
I'm
good
thinking about a science fiction one.
Because I think that same guy, Luke, whatever, he did that one too, didn't he? Do the
He
Professional?
did.
Right, I thought so. I remember.
And Leon. It
Yep.
was. Where is it?
So
I'll
yeah,
find
it's the time fills up quick.
Yes, for sure.
It's not, yeah. So, yeah.
So how was the engineering offsite stuff that you guys did? What you guys talk mostly about the platform stuff, or is there other stuff that you were talking about and other things you can share with us that we got coming up next year?
I mean, we try to do this once a year, usually at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Beginning of the calendar year. And what we typically do is we want this to be team driven.
Right.
It's not Raghu and I talking for a week. It's
Right.
the teams laying out where they're going for the year and setting their vision. So a lot of our AI infrastructure came out of that meeting. A lot of our core pipeline system, the P3 system, came out of the ideas there.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So it gets the team together. We usually have a number of other teams represented, so it's not just R&D in an echo chamber.
Right.
And it really gets the team together to go through kind of the direction of where we're taking the platform. We always have the high level goals and strategy of what the company's trying to do,
Right.
and how is the platform going to help drive that. And so it's both it's information sharing, idea sharing.
That's cool.
But the main focus is let's set out technically and the direction for the next year. There's been every year we've gotten some major leap coming out of that. And it might be one team or another that causes that leap. And nothing's done in a vacuum by one person. It's always a team.
It's always a team effort.
And so a lot of interaction between the teams. Remember, our engineering team, our product teams, and the company is in 4 or 5 major areas, right? So getting them all together, we bring people from India, we bring people from Waterloo. So we get them all together.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. That is cool. I like when we can get together. I'm kind of looking forward to getting together in February. It's going to be exciting just to see everybody and get together, stuff like that for the kickoff and stuff. That's always fun to do.
Hopefully somewhere warm where it's not
Waterloo. Well, they're doing Florida, so hopefully it'll be nice in February. It's probably nice down there in February right now. It stays in the 70s, 80s and stuff down there pretty much all year round, so that's nice. Yeah, that's smart, because I've been up to Waterloo for the kickoff for the first year I started, and it was cold. It was snowing and below zero. It was like, I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, Waterloo in February isn't fun.
Oh, it's terrible. I was like, wow, what is that? That was nuts. Yeah, so let me ask you this. I got a few more questions for you, just popping in my head. If you had a time machine, right, and you were able to go back 15, 20 years, what would you tell your younger self? Would you do anything different?
Yeah. I probably would have moved to San Diego sooner.
Right. There you go.
That's a definite. There were, I look back in, one, trust yourself more.
Yep.
I think that's a general thing for everybody. I think the other thing is, the industry changes quick.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to build, in one way or another, the platform we're building now.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
I've always been a product guy, a build guy from day one. So, doing that in a services company is always an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And I've made job changes because, we're not going in that direction. So you always do have to stick to that. So
right.
Yeah, I think those would be the two things.
Awesome. Would you say, James, then that desire to build something is something that's driven you then and continues to drive you?
I think, yeah, I mean, that desire to build is why I got into product. That's why I got, I went to school for electrical engineering because I want to build stuff.
Yeah, right.
Whether it's Lego, model, whatever, go build.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So let me ask you this. I got one more question for you, my friend. Would it be possible 6 to 9 months from now, if we have you come back on and give us an update of, hey, here's where we're going, here's some new stuff? Because I know it's going to be different from what we talked about today. There's going to be some new advancements, some big changes. Would it be possible to have you come back on and share that information with us? And I'll try not to put you on the spot. I'm not going to hold you to anything.
Nah.
Because hang on. Who said anything about not putting James on the spot?
Yeah.
We have a perfect opportunity here.
Whenever we do these calls, though, whenever we watch those product calls, I'm like, I'm so freaking excited. I'm like, holy, I want this shit now. I'm ready for it. Let's do it. When is it coming out? Like, you're showing us all these awesome things. I'm like, oh my God, when is that coming out?
That's why you have me talk to customers so I can tell them about what's coming.
Exactly.
Well,
I know. I love it.
To that point, I mean, we're obviously recording this now. This is not when it's going to be published. It's going to be published a length of time from now. What, James, can you talk about that's about to land? So by the time this comes out, it will be
there. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the time frame it takes to publish, I mean, the things we talked about with dashboard and reporting, the widget library, the customizability, that's coming in the next 30, 60 days, the beginnings of that. That's not a one and done. That's I keep calling it a train. I should probably go that's we're trying to create a manufacturing line.
Right.
Where here's the framework. Now we just
the plumbing for those
building
pieces
things that go in there. Yeah.
Love that. Okay.
We want widgets and reports and things like that to be content, not to be development efforts.
Right.
And so we're building the framework that allows that to happen. A little bit later than that, we'll come on with that what we call internally an IDE, an integrated development environment. That's way too techy, but it's the ability to go interact with the AI to go build.
This is something that Alexander Fake talked about in principle when he was on.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that idea that you can build on the platform, make it yours. We're starting with reporting. Well, we're also doing that with our log, where you can interact with the AI. You don't need to know SQL or KQL or whatever it is.
You can just say, "Hey, do this for me," and it's going to do it. And that's easy.
Tell me
Anybody
all
can
the failed logins James has had in the last 30 days. Here's the 4,000 of them because I can't type.
Right.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I think what you're also going to see, and I'm going to come back to something you mentioned earlier, Andy, about trust, is all this AI stuff is great. We have a philosophy of human in the loop, whether that's investigation or whether that's building something. How do we insert more trust visibility into the process? I'm playing with an early build of the AI building a dashboard. It's how do we show you what it's doing? How do you validate what it gave you a train chart of vulnerabilities and threats over time? Awesome. How do you validate that?
How do you
how do you check it?
Yep.
And then how do we overlay? We have one of the other PMs thinking about how do you overlay the trust layer on top of this? And what does that look like? I tend to think about it as an overlay on top, so that right now the way the AI works is it goes and does an investigation. It says, here's what I thought, here's what I did, and it documents everything. And then an analyst or a person can go look at that and validate it and then go retest. We want to have another layer on top of that goes, hey, these 3 things were risky, or show attributes of I'll just call it strangeness that need somebody to go look at.
Right.
And so we're looking at that. We're developing that layer also as we're developing this great, go ask the AI to be your assistant. What's the governing layer on top of that? So that you go, oh, hey, this thing here, this decision has some extra risk, or
so these are the context sensitive decision trees.
Right. I mean, a simple one, and Alex uses this also, is it took an input that had one IP address and started talking about another IP address. That's something you can just validate. Did the output match the inputs?
Right.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's going on there is that the ongoing security testing of the infrastructure.
Yeah.
We have some red teaming activity going on right now. And normally you do red teaming on a recurring basis for large releases. I think we're going to have with AI, at least we're probably going to have a series of red teams much more often.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's changing so fast.
Yeah, I love that. Really,
well, it's everything's got an eye over its shoulder. So, I mean, and that's the way it should be. If you were to do this physically with the SOC. I mean, this is how we've delivered the SOC forever, right?
Yeah.
This is how we deliver those incident handling teams. It's how we deliver incident response. This is the mechanics of the job, whether it's now an AI analyst doing it or a human SOC analyst doing it or a combination of. Let's just get the stuff done. And, we've that view of let AI do the repetitive stuff so that the SOC analyst can focus on this smells funny, that doesn't.
Right.
The combination is the outcome that we're trying to get to. And as you say, those roles will alternate between the SOC analyst, the AI analyst, the incident handling analyst, the incident response analyst, and the customer, and everyone else in between who has value to add to that statement, which is exactly how we've been running these major incidents internally over the last 5-10 years, at least.
I do have one more question. I lied. I apologize. I know that we were coming out with a demo, a POC kind of demo for the Insight portal for customers to try out. How are we on that? And when do you think that'll be ready, roughly?
You're going to see that in the next, I'll call it 30 days. So probably when this thing launches.
Yeah. Okay. So that's exciting too. I think that's awesome. I think people be able to say, hey, let me just get a feel for what it's like.
I mean, in the philosophy there is that, look, you should be able to try our platform in some we should let the platform be part of the selling process.
Right.
It has great features. We're adding additional, leading features.
Yeah.
Let's, customers and process or prospects kick the tires.
See it. Absolutely. Every call that I do with partners, I always demo the Insight portal. I actually got to do a webinar in the beginning for school. I was asked to help do a webinar for schools that are doing that funding and stuff. I'm going to do a live demo of our portal. So this is what you guys are going to be able to see, because you guys don't see this now. Here's the proof. Here's what we're doing live. And when I told the woman that at the IT, she's like, that's what we want to see. No one's being able to do it. So to show us that is going to be a game changer for us. So I love that. I think that's awesome.
And nothing that I've talked about, we've talked about investigation. We've talked about dashboard reporting. All of that is in addition to the foundation that the people add already.
Right.
This isn't instead of.
Right.
It's an additional. It's additive. Right.
I love it.
So, we don't have the philosophy. We have a philosophy of human in the loop when we talk about AI and this. So I think that is core. Yeah. And ultimately, the customer gets to decide where do they want to be in that loop.
Right. I think that's important.
I think we do have to remain fairly sensitive to the customer as well. And obviously, as a global organization, a lot of our audience thinks differently. They absorb concepts in a different way. They have a very direct, explicit, task focus approach. And show them the platform. That audience are going to love that.
Oh, absolutely.
But the audience that have sort of an indirect relationship based and a subtle approach, that's not going to work, because they don't care about the tools. They care about the relationships. And then we have lots of enterprise customers who have a blend of those two extremes. And obviously, depending on where those roles are, you're going to pitch to a different audience a different way. You're going to say things ever so slightly differently to emphasize that context. And again, that context sensitivity. I mean, I raised this when we've had those calls, the POC environment, go and play for yourself, with yourself, for yourself. Great. But that's not reflective of what the service is going to be, because I'm going to be talking to somebody. I know this stuff is going on in the background,
right?
But I'm going to have a relationship with my customer success manager, my service delivery manager. I'm going to have a relationship with the SOC analysts who are on my core time zone, and I'm going to be speaking to them all the time when there's problems.
Right. Yeah.
I may be more interested in that part of the relationship rather than the relationship with the tooling.
Right.
Because we're in this this time where people don't like to pick up the phone to call, right? I'm as guilty as anybody. However, there are times when you really do want to talk to a person.
Yeah.
Right.
And our philosophy is you should be able to talk to that person.
Yeah.
When things go sideways and our incident handlers get involved, you may want access to data. You should be able to get that. But
Right.
you want to
Yeah.
talk directly to our incident handlers because they're on the front lines fighting.
Yep.
They know what's
Yep.
going on. They're looking at what's happening in the environment. And you know, that's that human to human, you know, especially in that firefighting.
Yeah. No, I
this
love
is-
that.
So
Yeah.
But that's the key differentiator for us, isn't it? I mean, when there's a problem,
Yeah.
we call the customer.
Yeah.
We won't wait to hear from them. We're on the phone to them, and it's the person who's dealing with it is calling them there and then. As you say, the one who's got their sleeves rolled up and is getting their hands dirty, they're telling them exactly what's going on, what they need to do, what we'll do, what they'll follow on with, how we'll make sure that that's working. And that is facilitated through the tooling.
Yeah.
So if you look at the, Andy Fawcett has a bunch of great data from what the AI is doing in our SOC, right? But I'd say there's a couple metrics that are really interesting. One is the amount of tool calls that the AI can do. And our SOC is awesome. They can do a great job, but they have a time limit. The customer expects something to be done within a certain time frame that they're operating inside. And we try to let them expand, but the customer has an expectation of, a certain amount of time. The AI gives the analyst the ability to have a broader, deeper set of investigations already done for them when they start. So the AI allows a broader, deeper thing. We do, in about 7 minutes, we do an average of about 20 tool calls per investigation.
That's about 5 hours of work, right? In about 7 minutes.
Pretty much. The other interesting stat, it's more of a, some people call it a vanity stat. I'm not sure. There are 3,000 unique tool combinations that the AI has done. So think about the complexity of an investigation that a person has to do. There's 3,000 combinations. When I said we're running that, 10, 15 tool calls per investigation, we've seen 3,000 unique combinations.
Oof, man.
So, that's when we first started this journey, Andy did some, try to do some analysis of the number of different command line, PowerShell command lines you'd have to be able to understand. And it was just in some ridiculous number. I don't remember what the actual number was, but it was astronomical. That's the point where AI comes in and really helps.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
But at the end of the day, it's a human that needs to make a determination.
Right.
Because one thing we know is that AIs are ultimately confident in their answer. They will give you an answer, and it sounds like it's 100%. But they hallucinate. They make mistakes.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So just like a human, that's
Absolutely.
why the two are better than the one.
Absolutely.
But this is why that model keeps getting fed and it keeps getting tuned and it keeps getting adjusted. That's the puzzle, right?
Yeah. Oof. Well, James, I love it. I got to tell you, I'm excited to hear what we're doing in the future. I know we have some great stuff coming up. So when this again is airing, I think it's going to be there and people are like, wow, this is incredible. But yeah, to have you back on would be awesome. And listen, I know you're super busy. I know you got 50,000 things going on, but we really do appreciate you taking the time today and hanging with us. And I know you're a little under the weather, and thank you again for doing it. We really do appreciate it. It's been awesome having you on. Thank you for taking the time.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Anytime. I love it. Cool.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you, James. Hundreds of questions aren't going to stop, so I apologize now ahead of schedule.
Right.
They're going to be more because obviously, whether we need there's always going to be questions. Better the question you don't ask, right?
Right.
Way we get better.
How does that go? All right. Listen, this has been another episode of the Cyber Culture Cafe series, part of the Cyber Talks podcast, presented by eSentire, the authority in managed detection and response. To learn how eSentire's next level MDR service can help you strengthen your security program and build cyber resilience, please visit eSentire.com. James, thank you very much for taking the time today to talk to us. We look forward to the next episode and having you on or back on in the fullness of time to listen to the latest developments in the team.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, James.
Thank you guys.